no idea what I wanted to do. And then I had a very great blessing occur. I was married fall that year. We had a child on the way.
Brit Hume is a name millions recognize from his years as a trusted journalist and political analyst. With an impressive career spanning decades at ABC News and Fox News, Hume appeared to have it all: a successful job, respect, and influence. But behind the bright lights of television, his personal life carried a heavy darkness. In 1998, Hume faced a heartbreak no parent should endure when his son, Sandy, tragically took his own life. For years, Hume kept this pain private. Now, in a rare and emotional revelation, he has opened up about the devastating loss and how it changed him forever. Join us as we take a look at his journey and uncover what Brit has to say about his devastating loss, a legacy rooted in history and education. Brit Hume was born in Washington, D.C., to George Graham Hume and Virginia Powell Hume on June 22, 1943. His family history is quite fascinating. Through his father, Hume has Scottish roots that trace back to George Home, a son of the 10th Baron of Wedderburn. But did you know that this connection to Scottish nobility came with a dramatic story? George Home was exiled to Virginia after the Jacobite Rebellion. Growing up in the nation's capital, Brit Hume attended the prestigious St. Albans School, where he shared the hallways with future Vice President Al Gore. After completing high school, Hume moved to Charlottesville, Virginia, where he graduated from the University of Virginia in 1965 with a degree in English. This strong educational foundation set the stage for what would become a remarkable career in journalism. Hume's love for storytelling and uncovering the truth started early, and his curiosity for the world around him pushed him into the world of print media. From the newsroom to investigative reporting, Brit Hume's career began with humble roles at the Hartford Times and later at United Press International. He then joined the Baltimore Evening Sun, sharpening his skills as a journalist. By the early 1970s, Hume worked with syndicated columnist Jack Anderson, contributing to the iconic Washington Merry-Go-Round column. During this time, Hume uncovered stories that would shake the corridors of power. Speaking of which, one of his most notable investigations involved the ITT Corporation and its $400,000 contribution to the 1972 Republican National Convention. This revelation tied the Nixon administration to the settlement of an antitrust case against the company. Hume was also part of the team that exposed how the Nixon administration supported Pakistan during the Indo-Pakistani War of 1971, despite publicly claiming neutrality. This reporting led to surveillance by the CIA in 1972, with agents observing Hume and his family as part of their daily routine. But that didn't stop him. In 1971, he published his first book, Death in the Mines, which exposed the exploitation of coal miners. His investigative work reflected a relentless pursuit of truth, even when it meant facing powerful opposition. By 1973, Hume became the Washington editor of More magazine, a publication dedicated to press criticism. The same year, he joined ABC News as a consultant, marking his entry into television journalism, the ABC and Fox News years. In 1976, Hume became a correspondent for ABC News, covering Congress for over a decade. His work earned him television's first Academy Award nomination for The Killing Ground, a documentary about war and its effects on soldiers. His career took a major leap in 1989 when he became ABC's chief White House correspondent, covering the Bush and Clinton administrations. His reporting on presidential campaigns, such as those of Walter Mondale and George H.W. Bush, showcased his ability to capture the drama and stakes of American politics. Then, in 1996, Hume joined Fox News, where his wife had recently become the chief of the Washington Bureau. President Bill Clinton himself praised Hume's professionalism during his final press conference at ABC, acknowledging his unbiased approach to reporting. At Fox, Hume became the managing editor for Washington News, launching Special Report with Brit Hume in 1998. Speaking of which, the timing couldn't have been better. The Lewinsky scandal was dominating headlines, and Hume's program quickly gained traction. He later said the Florida recount during the 2000 presidential election significantly boosted the show's audience. "We made an effort to cover that story well, and that built our audience," Hume reflected. His ability to deliver reliable and balanced news made Special Report the most watched cable news program in its time slot for several years. In 2008, Hume announced his retirement as the anchor of Special Report. On his final episode, he passed the torch to Bret Baier, but remained with Fox News as a senior political analyst. In this role, Hume continued to provide sharp insights and analysis, appearing regularly on Fox News Sunday. But the question is, what made him retire? After 4 decades in journalism and 12 years at Fox News, Brit Hume decided to leave the demanding world of daily news in 2008. At the time, he was at the height of his career, leading Special Report, the top-rated cable news show in its time slot. But Hume felt it was the right moment to step back. "I think it's time," he said in an interview, emphasizing the importance of leaving while still doing well, rather than waiting until age or fatigue diminished his performance. Hume admitted that the pressures of his role had taken a toll on his personal life. He loved his job but had missed out on important family moments, like attending his grandchildren's school events. "There's a grandparents' event they have at school. I haven't been able to go," he shared. The workload of producing a high-quality program was intense, leaving little room for the things he wanted to enjoy outside of work. Despite his decision, stepping away wasn't easy. Hume had been a key figure at Fox News since its early days, watching the network rise to dominance by 2002. He recalled thinking it would take years for Fox News to compete with established networks, but they quickly reached the top. "Being number one is gratifying," he said, though he acknowledged that maintaining success was often harder than achieving it. But did you know that Hume's decision to retire wasn't just about family time? It was also deeply connected to his faith? A journey of faith and loss. For years he had considered himself a nominal Christian, someone who believed but didn't actively practice. That changed in 1998 when his son Sandy tragically took his own life. The loss pushed Hume to reevaluate his life and beliefs. "When my son died, I came to Christ in a way that was very meaningful to me," he said. This turning point shaped his outlook on life. Hume wanted to live out his faith fully, not just part-time. "If a person is a Christian and tries to face up to the implications of what you say you believe, it's a pretty big thing," he explained. Leaving his demanding role at Fox News gave him the opportunity to focus more on his spiritual journey and what it meant to truly live by his faith. But what were the details surrounding his son's untimely passing? The tragic loss of his son. Brit Hume was previously married to Claire Jacob Stoner, with whom he had a son, Sandy Hume. Sandy followed in his father's footsteps and became a journalist, quickly making a name for himself with his sharp reporting. In 1997, Sandy broke a major story about a failed Republican coup against Speaker Newt Gingrich. Veteran reporter Robert Novak described it as perhaps the greatest exposé of behind-the-scenes Capitol Hill machinations he had ever seen. This praise meant the world to Sandy, who even framed Novak's column on his wall. But behind Sandy's professional success was a personal battle with alcoholism. Tragically, in February 1998, Sandy took his own life at the age of 28. Just days before, he had been arrested for drunk driving and had attempted suicide in jail. He was evaluated at a psychiatric facility and later released, but the weight of shame and despair was too much for him to bear. He left behind a long note expressing his pain and took his life with a hunting rifle in his Arlington apartment. This loss devastated Brit Hume. In the aftermath, he turned to his faith for strength. Hume, who had been baptized and confirmed in the Episcopal Church, said that he committed his life to Jesus Christ in a deeply meaningful way after Sandy's death. His son's death had a lasting impact on Hume. Sandy was a rising star in journalism, known for breaking major political stories, including a failed Republican coup against Speaker Newt Gingrich. Hume has spoken openly about how his loss brought him closer to God, helping him find strength and meaning in the most difficult period of his life. Speaking of which, did you know that the National Press Club honors Sandy's memory with the annual Sandy Hume Memorial Award for Excellence in Political Journalism? This heartfelt award not only celebrates Sandy's talent, but also highlights the enduring impact of the Hume family in journalism. Speaking of family, Brit Hume's journey has been shaped by strong relationships, family bonds, and a legacy of resilience. You see, Brit Hume's family has been an integral part of his journey. After his divorce from Claire, he married Kim Schiller in 1993. Kim was also deeply involved in journalism, serving as a vice president and Washington bureau chief for Fox News before her retirement in 2006. Together, they shared a strong partnership, both personally and professionally. Hume's daughter, Virginia Hume, also carved out her own path in the world of media and politics. Born in 1965, she worked for over 25 years in public relations and political communications. She even served as deputy press secretary for the Republican National Committee in 1996. Virginia contributed to the Weekly Standard and built a career that reflected her family's dedication to impactful storytelling. Despite the challenges they faced, the Hume family has remained resilient. Sandy's death left a lasting impact, but Brit's commitment to his faith and his work has been a source of strength. Through his career and his personal life, Hume has demonstrated the ability to navigate both triumphs and tragedies with grace and determination. Looking forward while letting go. When Hume announced his departure, he also reflected on the future of Special Report. He believed the show was bigger than just its anchor, which made the transition easier. "The show is not about me," he said, contrasting it with programs like The O'Reilly Factor, which were heavily tied to their hosts' personalities. Hume felt confident that Special Report would continue to thrive under new leadership. In interviews, Hume offered advice for his successor, encouraging them to seek out stories that challenged the mainstream media's narrative. He believed there was often a uniformity in how the media approached certain topics, leaving room for alternative perspectives. "There's a homogeneity in the media that provides an opportunity for someone who is willing to take another look," he shared. But Hume's retirement wasn't about slowing down entirely. He still planned to contribute to Fox News as a political analyst, offering his insights on major events. But this role would allow him to work at a pace that fit his new priorities. Spending time with his family and deepening his faith became his focus. As he put it, "I certainly want to pursue my faith more ardently than I have done." His decision to leave Special Report wasn't just a career move, it was a personal transformation. While this decision marked a significant shift in Hume's priorities, his passion for journalism and political commentary wasn't entirely behind him. The rise of Brit Hume. In 2016, Brit Hume took on a new challenge when he became the anchor of On the Record. This move came after the sudden departure of Greta Van Susteren, who had long been the face of the show. Hume stepped into the role with his usual professionalism, and his first episode brought in 2.4 million viewers, which was a significant increase from the previous average. Now, this wasn't just a coincidence. Hume's reputation for trustworthy reporting and sharp analysis had earned him a loyal audience over the years. He anchored the program through the intense 2016 election season, guiding viewers through one of the most politically charged periods in modern history. However, his time on the Record was short-lived. By November of the same year, it was announced that Tucker Carlson would take over the time slot. While brief, Hume's tenure added another chapter to his impressive career. Hume's role in the 2020 U.S. presidential election coverage further cemented his status as a political commentator. Alongside other notable names like Chris Wallace and Juan Williams, Hume provided insights during election night coverage on Fox News. Yet his opinions weren't without controversy. In May 2020, he criticized Joe Biden for wearing a mask during the pandemic and suggested that President Donald Trump's decision not to wear one was more fitting. Later, in September 2020, he made headlines by claiming that Biden was senile. While these comments stirred debate, but they showcased Hume's unapologetically direct approach to political commentary. Brit Hume's impressive net worth in 2024. Brit Hume, a household name in journalism, has not only built a remarkable career, but also accumulated substantial wealth along the way. As of 2024, his net worth is estimated at $14 million. This figure reflects decades of hard work, dedication, and a keen sense of financial strategy. Hume's wealth didn't appear overnight. It's the result of a meticulous journey through journalism, starting with smaller roles at the Hartford Times and working his way up to some of the most prestigious positions in broadcast news. His early days laid the foundation, but it was his tenure at ABC News and later Fox News that truly boosted his financial standing. These roles not only brought him visibility, but also substantial earnings. At the peak of his career, Hume's annual salary reached an impressive $5 million, underscoring his value as one of the industry's most respected figures. Building wealth through journalism and beyond. Brit Hume's financial success began with his early work in journalism. After gaining experience at United Press International and working with syndicated columnist Jack Anderson, he joined ABC News in 1973. This marked a turning point in his career. Over 2 decades, he covered major events, from presidential campaigns to significant government affairs, steadily building his reputation and earnings. However, it was his move to Fox News in 1996 that significantly accelerated his financial growth. Joining Fox News allowed Hume to take on high-profile roles, including Washington managing editor and the anchor of Special Report. These positions came with higher salaries and increased visibility, helping him establish himself as a leading figure in broadcast journalism. Hume's assignments at both ABC and Fox News played a key role in boosting his income. Covering the 1984 Walter Mondale and 1988 George H.W. Bush presidential campaigns showcased his expertise and built his audience. Serving as chief White House correspondent from 1989 to 1996, further solidified his position. These roles were pivotal in shaping both his career and his wealth. Brit Hume didn't just rely on journalism to grow his wealth. Real estate investments became an essential part of his financial strategy. Smart investments and diversified revenue streams. In 2012, he purchased a condominium in Arlington, Virginia, for $1.7 million. Although he sold it for the same price in 2021, the move reflected his thoughtful approach to maintaining stable assets. In 2018, he also sold a property in Virginia for $1.35 million, further demonstrating his savvy investment skills. After retiring from his anchor role at Fox News in 2008, Hume transitioned to a senior political analyst position. This allowed him to maintain a steady income while enjoying a more flexible schedule. Appearing as a panelist on Fox News Sunday and other programs kept his name relevant and his earnings consistent. This semi-retirement phase provided a balance between financial stability and personal time, ensuring his wealth continued to grow. Beyond journalism and real estate, Hume found other ways to generate income. He earned from consulting, public speaking, and contributions to the Weekly Standard. While these weren't as consistent as his anchor salary, they added valuable streams of revenue. This diversified approach to income not only kept his finances robust, but also allowed him to leverage his experience long after stepping away from full-time broadcasting. Where is Brit Hume today? Brit Hume is best known today as the chief political analyst for Fox News Channel, a role that keeps him at the forefront of political commentary. As a regular panelist on Fox News Sunday and a contributor to major political coverage, Hume provides sharp insights and balanced perspectives that have earned him widespread respect. His career spans decades of reporting on some of the most pivotal moments in U.S. politics, from presidential elections to significant policy debates. Speaking of which, Hume's ability to analyze complex topics in a way that resonates with viewers has made him a trusted voice in the media. And while Hume's life hasn't been without its challenges that deeply affected him both personally and professionally, he has learned to lean on his faith, finding strength in his Christian beliefs to navigate the pain. And despite such personal hardship, Hume has remained committed to his work, using his platform to provide clarity on the often chaotic world of politics. His journey is a reminder for everyone, showing how faith helps you move on from such big losses, and that one can rise above adversity while continuing to make an impact in their field. What do you think about Brit Hume's journey, from his incredible career achievements to the personal challenges he's faced? Share your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to subscribe for more such stories.